Commissioner Wanderi says that they were not tallying as commissioners. Did you actually think that 7 commissioners had the capacity to physically tally the 46,229 forms and be able to give the results within 7 days as the law states? Number 2, the matter went before the Supreme Court as a petition. Would you say that the results declared by the chairman were inconsistent in any way with those that were declared at the polling stations? And that brings me to the final statement by Cherera, where she says she wants the server to be opened. And that has been the language, open the server. The secretariat was here, the IEBC secretariat was here. And I remember I personally asked the question of the server because I thought we need to understand what's in the server. And the ICT director said, whatever is in the server is exactly what is in the public portal. That any Form 34A is what they have stored in the server. There's no difference. So what is it you want the server to produce if there was no inconsistency? Or maybe you know of an inconsistency that you should have taken before the Supreme Court. So was there any inconsistency? I think that's the bottom line.
Can I also? I wanted to also, this is Hassan Omar. And I, like Cecily, because I probably would want you also to benefit from some of the questions we will pose to your 2 colleagues here. You know, I had a lot of reference to the Maana case. But the true import of the decision of the Maana case is that what is declared at the polling station is the actual result of that election. This tallying you're talking about is simply arithmetic. In fact, today I look up to God and say, the systems were so foolproof that our elections cannot be decided by 4 or 7 people. The whole world was monitoring, and in fact, this idea of the server is almost an idea to try and camouflage the fact that there was a result which was verified, and those forms that were tallied. Not a single one of you came up with a challenge to meet up, as suggested by Justice Smoking Wanjala, to show one single form signed by your returning officers or agents or anybody that differs with those that have been put onto that server. So I think, or into that portal. So I think we should now, even in terms of moving forward, because what I've heard Eugene, you repeatedly here saying how people say that the outcome of these elections was not free and fair. And I can tell you, outside this group and the 4 of you, I don't know of anybody else who says that the outcome of these elections was not free and fair. Number two, I also was a commissioner at a very stormy point of this country's political transition, I think, which birthed the new constitution and some of the state institutions you see. I investigated instances of violence and laid a lot of responsibility on people who ended up becoming presidents of this country, probably the 4th and 5th. I can tell you, when you do your job consciously, there's nothing to fear. People will send you messages. That's why Ongwae Nyanga is still here and others. I can guarantee you, what Kenyans simply wanted was the truth of what happened. The truth in many instances has been canvassed in the Supreme Court. It has been canvassed across board. And I can tell you without a doubt, at least if it is any threat, it cannot be from our side. Our side is totally comfortable with the fact that the truth was canvassed and mitigated and agreed upon and settled. Lastly, there are a lot of other things that we do not want to go into. There is evidence that was adduced about your meetings, the 4 of you, with Tuju in apartments in Upper Hill, paid for by Ngonga, who was